it's Sheri here. Interesting topic for today's video. So from the title, you know that I have joined this Discord server for The Rose. For those of you that don't know, The Rose is... I know it's K-pop, right? But it's sort of like under the area where all Korean music kind of gets like put under K-pop. I don't know if I classify them as like pop music in the sense, but they're sort of like an indie band with more like an electric British band pop sound. But yeah, they consist of members Woo-sung, Do-jun, Ha-jun, and Jaehyun. I hope I am pronouncing your names right. Woo-sung, Do-jun, Ha-jun, Jaehyun. And this is the first ever official verified group with their own Discord server. So what that means is it's not fan run, it is owned by a member of the band as well as some admin. Now, I'll be honest, I am not that well versed in Discord, and so I just saw this when Woo-sung posted this thing on his Instagram. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I joined, and chaos. No, it was controlled chaos in a sense. Like right now, the Discord server has about 29,000 people, and they range really from the Rose fans called the Black Rose to just general K-pop fans to sort of people that were interested in, you know, joining this K-pop community or something like that. And it's really interesting. I'll be honest, I have like some qualms about this thing. I think first it's a great idea, and I do think that the admin and staff behind this are incredible just from what I experienced personally yesterday. So it launched yesterday at the time of recording, and I joined, and there was like a thing of like, oh, who's your bias? What are your pronouns? And then I saw that there were people talking in the voice chat, and there were like 300 or 500 people listening. So I just joined that like voice chat. It was just the admin talking, and they were sort of explaining what this was. And the main spearhead behind the Discord server, who is not a member of the Rose, but there's a running joke that he's now the 5th member, is named Kim. And he was talking about how he wanted a space for K-pop fans to interact directly with the artist, not through management and not through staff, which is quite fairly common in K-pop. A lot of what the artist says or does is transferred through staff, and a lot of, you think artists run social media accounts, are actually run by staff. So this was a very interesting idea of like what the next step of fan and idol interaction could look like. And he was talking about how the guys themselves like 2 of them had Discord, and they knew about Discord, and they thought it was a great idea, and they sort of partnered up with Kim and his team of admin and staff. Now, I only interacted with Kim, AS, and Levi yesterday, I think, and they seemed like really nice people and experienced in running a server, which is sort of the main thing I was worried about, because there's been stories of streamers, Discords, and stuff like that like running into chaos just because the mod team couldn't handle everything, and of course the streamer themselves wasn't able to do that. But Kim said like he has 15 years of experience in community management, and he was listing all these other servers that he owns and runs, as well as like you could see from yourself when you join in, like they were talking with fans. I think he spent like 9 hours just in voice chat, just talking with everyone, answering questions, little trivia chats and stuff like that. He was saying how like the Rose is going to be the first group, but definitely not the last, to sort of start their own Discord and have this new era of communication with fans. And as well as, I think importantly, there are mentions of, you know, internet safety, which I think does not get brought up enough, kids. Don't reveal your real name and address and or age if you are underage, because the internet is scary. But yeah, and there's a lot of that. It was, I think, a little overwhelming for a lot of people because, you know, when everyone was joining in at once, it was like an insane chaos of messages and things going on. But so far, everyone that I sort of interacted with or it's like saw chatting in the Discord seemed really nice, really supportive. The admin team like picked on some people just randomly who wanted to speak as well, and they spoke and they're talking about, you know, how they got into the Rose, where they were from, and generally like, you know, their favorite Rose song or like their favorite K-pop and all that. It was kind of wholesome, I'll be honest. It was wholesome. Now, it does tend to get like chaotic a little bit. There weren't like any obvious trolls. Of course, there's just some spamming as people had to level up for like this bot system so you could post links and pictures, which I think is really smart because you don't want like everyone coming in spamming pictures in all at once. I will say I like this idea of like artists and fan like direct contact like this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Bubble but free, and I have huge issues with like Bubble and like this paid service to get to content. You know, this whole paid sent by notice me thing, I don't like it. I have issues with it. That's a different video. But I feel like this is an interesting take on like Bubble but free for the community itself. I have like some worries, and I have messaged some members of the admin team just like trying to get you know, like what they want to say for this video, and I know they're super busy, and I kind of like gave them only a day. That's on me. No worries. If they like update on anything I say, I'll update or make another video about this. But I kind of have like some feelings. I'm just like not sure how overwhelming it can be for the artists themselves, because honestly, like, you go on and there's so many people online right now, and I don't know if over time people will chill out a little bit, because, you know, right now they're grinding for levels, but it might be like a little overwhelming for them, especially since I think these are their real Discords, like their real Discord accounts, so they're getting like added so many times and all that. And I don't know what exactly the Discord system is there, so, you know, when they come on and they post something and they don't just get like bombed with a million messages. But I think that is something I do not have the technical ability to talk about that much in detail, or know how like Discord has a system set in to protect the artists. I think that's another thing I'm slightly worried about. As wholesome as a lot of K-pop fans are, there are the like few that are like toxic or trolly or a little much, you know? And sometimes it's not completely their fault. Like, everyone has a different like tolerance for what's funny and stuff like that. And Kim said that like he has a zero tolerance policy for trolling. He has a zero tolerance policy for like bullying or like any discrimination of any kind. Like, you're not getting a free, you know, strike system. That I think is amazing. Claps for that. But I do like want to know like what, if there's any specific systems that are put in place to sort of protect the idols themselves. And I'm sure their team, with all their experience, and Kim has even said that he has about 60 70 like people on hand he could call in to like mod and admin. So I think that's something maybe like down the future they need to discuss, depending on how this goes. Like, maybe everything stays wholesome and awesome, but on the off chance that at any point, you know, the artist needs to be protected, how fast can they step in? Because Discord isn't closed, but it's not, so it technically like anyone can join this group. And I'm putting like the join link in the description, as well as a link to all of the Rose's members' Instagram handles, so you can check them out for yourself. They make really awesome music. I was won over, like, side note, I was won over. So, you know, when the Rose debuted, there was that controversy. Now, I don't want to get into detail because it's all over, and none of it was their fault. I will emphasize that it was not their fault, but there was this controversy, and I was, you know, sort of a shallow, we shall say, yes. I don't want to get into too much detail because it's all past and it's like not something nice to talk about. But it was not any of the members' fault, but it was sort of that point of like, I didn't hate them or anything like that, but I couldn't check out their stuff because it's just like hurt, pain. And then they went on to Superband, and then I heard like Woosun's voice. Won me over completely. Won me over, and then I really just stand them for like their music style, which I think is really interesting, as well as Woosun's voice is 10 out of 10. Also his dog. And that's like another thing. Back on this topic, I think so far the admin team have been very gracious? No, have been listening well to sort of what users want, and they've been making notes, and then they've said like multiple times you can DM us, you message us, and we'll like look into what can be added in the future. Like even yesterday after I logged off, I came on this morning and there were some new features added in. There was a music discussion channel, so I think they're very open to hearing what the fans themselves want, as well as like open to ideas about emotes and stuff like that. So I was not hounding but wolfing very hard for them to add a Wolfie emote, because I don't know if you guys know Woosun's dog, Wolfie. It is one of the cutest puppers I have ever seen. One of the cutest puppers I have ever seen. So I was like, just like, can we get a Wolfie emote? Can we get a Wolfie emote? And I like sent them like the Wolfie picture, and they did it. It was like really fast. They're like, okay, yeah, sure, send us a picture. Boom, boom, bam. Wolfie emote. Wolfie emote! I will never stop using the Wolfie emote. Join the server to find out what I'm talking about and how cute that dog is. But yeah, as for something as new as this, and for how big the K-pop community, I do think this is an interesting step in the next direction of how fans interact with idols and how idols interact with fans, where like, you know, when they want to post something, you know, they just post it on the Discord, and Woosun has already been doing that. Some of the other members have, you know, they like hop on to just say like a quick hi, what's up, and like Woosun's posted like his picture of his food and stuff like that. So it's like a interesting connection that is not through this paywall, which has been increasing, you know, like connection through fans through paywalls has been increasing, and this is not that, which I think is awesome. I do want to see how this develops as it goes forward, because Kim has said there are more people that are going to come on, and he's been like teasing us about this whole time, not saying who. So, you know, who knows? It could be, he's like, it's some big people, it's like people with small followings, it's a mix. So this is gonna be really interesting. I think it's a good step for like the K-pop community, because a lot of K-pop not in Korea, right? Like K-pop not in Korea has always sort of been like a more niche thing that's been growing more mainstream, and before it went like as mainstream as it is now, is like, you know, the niche people like finding each other on places like Tumblr or Twitter and building that community within themselves. And I think this sort of reminds me of that, like of that little community that's like not open to the public eye for like ridicule of, you know, the other people being like, ew, K-pop, where now it's just like K-pop fans themselves being like, K-pop, let's talk about this, let's talk about this group, let's talk about that. And, you know, so far this server, it's a lot of people not just talking about the Rose, but talking about K-pop in general, suggesting music, posting like memes, GIFs, and stuff like that. And I think, you know, it reminds me of a funner time of K-pop, like before Twitter toxicity got that involved in it. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I'm old. Cool. So that's what I wanted to say on this topic. I have like some worries. I do look forward to what the future has. I think the admin team so far has been really great. There is in The Rose AMA on, I wrote this down because I'm not good at time. There's a Rose Discord AMA on May 3rd, 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST. So if you guys want to go ask the Rose questions, join that Discord and then click you're interested and join in. Right now there's almost 30,000 members. That is insane. I don't know how big like Discords can get, but I feel like that's insane. Who knows? And also, I don't know, if you like K-pop, if you like the Rose, you know, check out this server and check out whatever the future has for K-pop and Discord, because again, as I said, the Rose is the first, but it's not going to be the last. But the Rose are indeed making history of this. I'm surprised there's like not more media talking about it right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I am like, I'm just like biding my time and waiting to see if the Discord breaks when the AMA starts, because that is like chaos like I will have never seen, and I am ready for this. I am ready for this. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about Discord, K-pop, and what you think about the server. If any of y'all are from the server that are watching this, hi! What's up? I hope everyone has a good day, night, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this. Please drop what's your favorite The Rose song in the comments below. And if you don't have one, go look in the comments to find one, because a lot of their songs are super amazing. I'll say my favorite, Red. Love Red. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!